Hi folks, and welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host, Frank Hutton. Today I've got a good show for you today. Representative Gene Newman is bringing in our own DA. That would be John Bramlett, otherwise known as Bubba Bramlett. We get to find out where he got that nickname, as well as talk about a bunch of other stuff. I'm looking forward to this conversation, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back just a second. Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Hi folks, and welcome back into another edition of This Week in Pearl, where I am joined today by my special guest, which I'm very excited about. Representative Gene Newman has brought him in. I want to welcome in our own DA right here, Mr. Bubba Bramlett. How you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Technically, it's John Bramlett.
It is.
We go by Bubba.
Go by Bubba.
How long ago did that start? Was that like Mama started calling you Bubba when you were born?
I was adopted, and I've got a sister that's about 3 years older than me that evidently wasn't talking real well, and that was how brother came out. Oh. And so it was Bubba.
Really?
They started calling me Bubba, and she started calling me Bubba, or Brother Bubba.
Brother Bubba.
But it stuck, and you know, a lot of times when people get older, they try to shed the nickname.
Sure.
But I can tell you one thing that. And I guess I'm kind of unique in this way, but one thing that kind of comes along with being adopted, you appreciate that.
Sure.
And so Bubba has a special meaning to me.
Okay.
You can guess, again, because I'm adopted, I'm very pro-life. There's things that just come along with that.
With that.
Yeah.
Certainly.
And so the nickname with me kind of stuck, and I didn't fight to change it.
Well, that's a great story, because it was your sister who just couldn't quite say brother. It came out Bubba.
That's right.
And that just stuck.
It stuck. That's right.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, you've embraced it, obviously, because everybody knows you as Bubba Bramlett.
Well, I have, and it's helped that, you know, I grew up here, played ball here, know most of the people here,
Right.
So I still see people all the time. If you said John Bramlett to them, they wouldn't know who I was.
They wouldn't nobody know who that
Mr.
is.
John K. Bramlett.
Yeah, but if you say Bubba Bramlett, then the Pearl guys will be like, "We beat you our junior year."
What year was that?
That's right. That's right.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, Representative, thank you for bringing him in.
It's great to have him here. You know, people in the county, in the city of Pearl especially, need to understand exactly what the district attorney's office does.
Mm-hmm.
The complexities that in that office and what he has to do, and to protect the people in this county is amazing. So he does a great job at it. He's got very capable people working for him. I mean, he's got great people.
Right. You have to have good people.
So, you know, and he's got two counties. He's got that county up north of Madison County. So, you know, but he does a great job. Does good things for this county.
Well, we appreciate you bringing him in. So for people, obviously people know who you are, but a lot of people that move in here, or are not in politics, don't really pay attention, just get up and go to work every day, they may not actually know who you are. So you're Rankin County boy. So tell us, you grew up, born here, raised here. Tell us where you went to school. Tell us all that.
All right. Both my parents were public school educators. My dad was a football coach. Everybody in my family tree coached. My wife coached. She's an athletic director at Madison Central now. She was at Brandon. She was born and raised in Brandon. Really good athlete. But my dad retired from coaching in the mid-'70s. His last head coaching job and athletic director position was at Northwest Junior College in Senatobia.
Okay.
And when he retired from coaching, he had some old buddies that talked him into moving to Brandon, Mississippi, that was fixing to annex Cross Gates, and they needed to be in the real estate business and all of that. So moved to Brandon in 8th grade, and like I said, was there really in 2000 until 2015 when Celeste took the athletic director job over at Madison Central. But grew up, played ball at Hines, then went to Ole Miss, then went to law school here at Mississippi College. Mississippi College School of Law, graduated there in 1985. And, started there in 85, graduated in 88. And again, because I was from here, I just hung a shingle right there in downtown Brandon, right above where Jenna Ben is now. I think Jamie Ware lives up there now.
I think he does.
But that was my office.
Yeah.
And immediately ran for and was elected county attorney for Rankin County. And I did not know what a county attorney was. The local bar came to me.
I was going to say, why did you run for county? I mean, you were talking about what, 1988?
No, it was in 91.
91, okay, so I was a little early. 91, you ran for county attorney.
Yeah, the local bar, which was not that small now. I mean, not that big then, but you know all of them, and most of them have retired now. And but they came to my office and said, "You're running for county attorney. We don't like the way things are."
You got voluntold.
Yeah, that's right. I was the youngest one and didn't know any better. And they lied to me and told me it was about 10 hours a week, and it wasn't. Gosh. And so I did that and loved it. It was a great experience. Tons of courtroom. Literally tried thousands of cases because back then. You didn't have the separation like you do now, and you had all your county court cases, which were then were jury trials.
Wow.
They were 6-person jury trials.
No kidding.
Can you imagine doing that now?
No.
But they were jury trials. And then we had Olive Youth Court. That was the county attorneys and filing all those petitions and doing those cases. And then you had your like you still have, you had your 4 justice court judges and did all of that. So it was.
That's 10 hours.
Yeah,
it was 10
hours a day.
It was 5 days a week, literally. On Monday and Thursday, we did justice court every week.
Yeah.
On Tuesday mornings, we did, in the 90s, DUIs were a huge thing. And it was, they just kind of come on the scene, really. And we had DUI hearings in the morning and the afternoon over in county court. Wednesdays, we did youth court all day and night because we just had one day. And I cut my teeth under Jim Smith. He was a county judge. And he felt like we'd not really worked unless we were there till 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh.
And then on Friday, we would have jury trials. And so
Fridays.
Yeah. So
wow.
That was kind of your week. And then you did your private practice and tried to make a living.
I was fixing to say, you're in private practice this entire time as well.
Yeah, you had to be because the job paid $19,000. Oh my God. But did that, loved it, got great experience.
So what great experience did you gain from all of that? And of course the networking.
No
too.
substitute.
No
for it.
substitute.
No substitute.
Right.
And it really paid off because when when Michael decided to run for Congress and won, and Governor Bryant reached out, it was just really a matter of whether I wanted to step back into that public realm. But as far as being prepared for it, I can assure you that experience more than prepared me for it.
Well, I mean, you went to work as an assistant district attorney.
Yeah.
Before then.
Yeah.
So you were already working in the office. Now, I think you did 2 stints as an ADA?
Yeah, my first
right?
one. Yes, that's right. I did. I did 2 terms as the county attorney. The second term was really because. Myself, along with Judge McDaniel and Dean Kirby, saw the need for a full-time county attorney. And we tried to get it done through the county, and it didn't happen. And Dean Kirby kind of championed that at the state level. And so at the end of my second term, Dean Kirby called me up and said, "Hey, look, we're going to be able to make it full time in the year 2000." And I wasn't interested in doing it, but I was interested in doing it until the time we could make it full time. And as soon as we made it full time, I stepped down, because what else was going on at the same time? Across the country, the federal government had realized we're losing a lot of cases where we have child victims. And when I say child victims, I'm talking about one that's incompetent to testify, 4 years old, 3 years old, an infant. Because they're unique cases. Your victim can't get on the witness stand and tell the jury
Not at 4.
what happened.
Sure.
And so there's very specialized training and legal logistics and maneuvering that need to be done to successfully prosecute those cases. And they picked Rankin and Madison County out as a pilot project to have a full-time prosecutor that did nothing but crimes against children. And I was approached about that, was very intrigued by it, and I took it. And so from 2000 to 2004, housed in the DA's office, but fulfilling that special prosecution for crimes against children. I did that, and again, that's where I tried my first death penalty case.
Well, I was going to ask about that, because that's a very hard case to try as a death penalty case. And then, of course, you being a special prosecutor, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and
I want people to really understand the gravity of that. That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal, and that
especially
was
as a pilot program.
It was a pilot program, and
they picked right here.
They picked right here to do it, and
the sad part about that is it's scary that there's that many cases. In Rankin County to do that with.
To pick right here to do it with. But I mean, that was a lift.
It was, and the only thing that was the only thing I really didn't like about it, but I still enjoyed it because I knew it was for a bigger cause. Is at the end of every day, you had to document how you spend every minute of that day, because they were trying to figure out how much time are you spending researching, how much time are you spending with police, how much time are you spending interviewing witnesses, preparing for trial, doing jury instructions, actually trying the cases. So you're keeping up with all this time so that they could then take that information from a 4-year data collection point and say, okay, well, this is how much the salary should be. He needs a legal assistant. We may need 2 attorneys. Whatever they did with it,
you were creating the manual.
It was.
You were building the standard operating procedure.
Yeah, and it was.
You were a trailblazer.
Well, it was very gratifying.
And you created the entire thing.
Yeah, and I tell you something that came from that, and it's again, we talk about when I was first approached about maybe stepping into the DA position, my first reaction, and for months, was no. Not going there. I've been in the political realm before. I didn't know if my wife could. I'm thick-skinned. She's not so much. And the things that get written about, and the social media part of it.
Oh yeah, but she has to deal with that as an athletic director.
That's right.
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, she's the one that said, God prepared you for this. He's put this on my heart, and so many things happened right after that appointment that affirmed that we were doing the right thing. And because of that experience I had prosecuting those crimes against children, one of the first calls I made was to my prosecutor for crimes against children in each county. I called them and I said, "You're done with crimes against children," because the one in Rankin had been doing it for 22 years. The one in Madison had been doing it, I think, for 11, something like that. And I was like, I did it for 4. And although I loved it, the kind of cases you're dealing with and what you're seeing and those viewing autopsies and things like that, although I loved that 2000 to 2004 experience, when I was done with it, I felt like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders, and I didn't even know it was there.
Sure.
I enjoyed what I was doing, and when I look back on it, I realized that maybe in year 3 and 4, those things that were really hard to see and stuff in year 1, they just weren't quite as hard. And I was like,
desensitized to it.
I'm becoming desensitized. I'm becoming cold to that. It's a coping mechanism. And I didn't want to.
You just can't unsee some of it.
You can't.
There's just no way.
You can't. And I did not want to be that person. I wanted to be sensitized to it. I wanted my heart to be there. And so God blessed me with that experience. So when I pulled both of them off, they were like, okay, you're fixing to enjoy prosecuting. I'm going to give you, drug cases or whatever, where you're not even really dealing with victims, so to speak. And let you see yeah, that's right. And, they both came to me and said exactly what I felt when I just think that 4 years is, and if you want to go back to it later, that's fine, but take a break. Take a break.
Which makes a lot of sense, plus that you're gaining the experience across the office.
Yeah.
More people are sharing the load. That's a wonderful idea, because you just can't unsee some of those things, especially these child victims.
Yeah, that's right.
4, 5, 6, even preemies.
Yeah.
I mean, little babies.
Yeah.
Tiny babies.
That's right.
That get abused.
And
how in the world?
The girl that I hired to take Jackie's place, Jackie's one been doing it for 22 years, was Catherine White Newman. Great prosecutor. Reason I hired her is because she was a defense attorney that was regularly kicking tail and taking names from that side of the aisle. She was just a great courtroom, always prepared. I brought her in, gave her the crimes against children, and look, after her 4 years, I said, Catherine, you're done. You're fixed to take a break. She fought me on that. The Child Advocacy Center fought me on that.
They just loved her.
DHS,
Right.
CPS, everybody's like, you're not taking Catherine away. I was like, yes, I am, because I want Catherine here for the long term.
Right.
And she, now she's prosecuting. She prosecuted the Carly Gregg case.
Yeah.
Great prosecutor. Right. But all of that stems from experience as an ADA, and then I went to, when Celeste got the job in Madison, Michael called me up, was like, hey, how'd you like to get back into prosecuting, and kind of talked me into it. Did not tell me, I don't think he knew he was running for Congress, but didn't tell me that
he didn't share that information.
He didn't share it if he did. And
Michael.
That's right.
I hear that train a coming.
Right.
That's right. But
come on over, Bubba.
That's right.
Yeah, come on over.
But again, another situation where God blessed me, because I'm a Rankin County guy. I know every back road in Rankin County. I know everybody in the county. Not so much with Madison, and I went there. And so I had 4 years in Madison County of getting to know it, trying their big cases, seeing how things operated there, because it's a completely different place. Matter of fact, my first day of work coming back, my first day was walking into the courthouse, and from here to that camera, a guy was shot in front of me.
Your first day?
First day back. I was like,
oh my God.
I was talking to my secretary on the phone as I was walking into he got shot right there in the doorway going into the courthouse. And what had happened is the deceased had shot the shooter's mother a couple of nights before.
Oh my gosh.
And he had been looking for him and couldn't find him, and he found out that he had court that Monday. And so he was waiting on him, and I was walking behind him as we were going into the courtroom, and this guy shoots him. And
right there in front of you.
Yes.
While you're on the phone.
Yes, my secretary was like, "I've never heard your voice get so high."
I bet.
And,
oh my.
And I called Michael, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Well, I'm on my way to Brandon to work." And I was like, "You need to come to Canton to work today."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, I'm so sorry." I was like,
wow.
I was like, "I'm good, but you know."
Yeah, congratulations, Bubba, you're getting that one.
That's right.
you're a witness.
Yeah. So got indoctrinated real quick.
Real
over
fast.
There.
Wow.
And but again, that 4 years over there, and then all the time here, it prepared me for the role I'm in now.
Right. And I know, like we were talking about the prosecutors doing that special prosecutorial role for juveniles. That does make a lot of sense, saying that, because that would be very difficult. You know, with me dealing with the police department on a daily basis in my role, there are things that I can't unsee. Yeah. You know, that I really most of the time choose to try to not look at. I just don't want to know, because there's just things you can't unsee.
Yeah.
And so I understand that could weigh heavy. I mean, our police officers have to deal with this every day. I don't think people in the general public understand this.
They don't have a clue.
They don't really, and they need to understand. Police officers, one minute you're on a domestic where a husband and wife are just fighting with each other, you know, and the next minute you may be on a spot where you've got a juvenile who's just been sexually assaulted, and the next minute you may be over at some other place where somebody's shooting each other and you got murder going on. I mean, it's just, and that can be in one night.
That's right. And now we have those guys.
And that goes on every day.
and we were at the forefront of this. It's another area where Rankin County stepped up to the plate and put an officer on every school campus.
Yeah.
And those guys get close to those students.
They do.
And that's just I call those guys like they're like a Swiss Army knife. They may be dealing with school violence at one time, and then they might have a kid coming to them, you know, telling them confidentially,
and that does
this is
happen.
what's going on in my life.
And that does happen.
And they've got to know how to handle that.
They do.
And we're there to assist them with that. But it's a lot goes on behind the scenes that people don't see.
Yes. All right. So you tried 2 death penalty cases.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Yeah.
How tell us about the I think the latest one was what, in 18?
18. Yeah.
Yes.
The first one was in 2003, and that was a guy named Devin Bennett, killed his 10-week-old son in Richland. There's other than the legalities of what qualifies for a death penalty, there's a lot of other stuff that we look into.
Well, there's so much talk about it right now, obviously with the Charlie Kirk assassination and the governor saying we're going to try a death penalty. That's a very difficult thing to do. So in 18 you did that. Yeah,
in 18 we did it with a case in Canton with a 13-year-old that was shot during an armed robbery of a store.
Okay.
And basically that particular case, it was a 13-year-old. He was, his family lived in the back of the store. His mother at the time was out of the country. And he was doing so well in school and coming home from school and getting his homework done and whatnot, that his dad told him, look, if you keep up the good work, I'm going to let you work the cash register one night. And so the first night he let him work the cash register. The first customer that came in, the boy sitting at the cash register, waiting for his first customer, the father sitting behind him on a stool, FaceTiming the mother who's in another country, saying,
"Watch our boy.
Watch our boy. He's fixing to make his first sale."
Yeah.
And right over his right shoulder is a security camera.
Yeah.
And the guy comes in, doesn't say, "This is a holdup, I'm taking your money," doesn't say anything. Puts the gun between his eyes and blows his brains out. His mother saw that on FaceTime. And the kid was he was dead before he hit the ground.
Oh, of course.
And then the father was shot in the stomach, and he hit the ground. And the guy went around and came back and tried to put a couple bullets in his head, but his gun jammed and it wouldn't go off. So that particular case was as death penalties should be. Death penalty cases are two phases. You've got the guilt phase and the penalty phase. Mm-hmm. Guilty or not guilty, and then death penalty or life without parole. In my experience, and it's my belief, that the guilt phase should be a no-brainer. Something that's very clear to a jury, that's going to be very short time back in the jury room.
Sure. When there's no doubt.
There's no doubt. Juries want to get 12 people to agree on anything anymore.
Very
like eating lunch, it's hard enough.
Yeah, right. What we're going to have or
That's
where we're going to go. Sure.
But to agree on that, it's got to be. And in that particular case, one, you had the father that could testify. He was an eyewitness. He was 1 foot away from it. And you had the camera here. Then you had the great police work that went into it. So the guilt phase was never an issue.
Right.
The penalty phase always is the issue. That's where the defense is going to. They're going to go back and find your kindergarten teacher, your first grade teacher. If you ever
your
went
high school coach, whatever.
That's right, high school coach. If you ever went to church growing up, they're going to find them. They're just going to do a shotgun approach and try to find something that registers with one juror.
Keep you out of the chair.
To keep you, that's right. And so, but that case, like Bennett, they didn't spend much time at all out, and they came and gave him the death penalty. So those are two. Got another one I'm looking at right now that I anticipate that we might do up in Madison. And you've got cases where that legally qualify for the death penalty, but you get into looking at your psychological testing and their IQ and where are they on the IQ scale and all those kind of things to make sure you've got a really sound case, because it's going to get appealed for 2 decades.
Right, forever. Sure.
Well,
and as it should be. I mean, it is. You are taking someone's life, even though they may have taken someone else's. The state is taking their life. That's right.
And I'll give you an example that hit home. So Devin Bennett tried him, started that trial in February, finished it in March of 2003. His appeals are still going on.
Wow.
I thought last year we were finally done with the appeals, and then it became clear to me that, well, really the federal side of these appeals are just now beginning. So that's going to be another 3. So we're talking 25 years down the road before. We haven't been executing many people at all. I think we just executed one that had been up there for 40-something years or something. And the appeal process is long. It doesn't go away. If you're the prosecutor on it, it doesn't go away. You can go into private practice or whatever you want to do. That appeal is following you and going to be with you. And we had the case here in Pearl with the Jolly woman that killed her baby. Was slamming the baby on the pavement.
Right.
Perfect death penalty case. And I just brought up Catherine Newman's name. You know, and that, as a DA, I've got to make that decision. I'll take everybody's input and listen to it and weigh it out. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to make the call.
Somebody does.
And that's me.
Right. That's what we elected you for.
That's right. And and I can tell you, Catherine fought me tooth and nail on that. So Jolly killed her baby. Catherine had just had her first baby.
Oh, wow.
She was not happy.
No. No, she's a mama.
That's right.
New mother.
That's right.
Right.
And she wanted that. And she'd been prosecuting crimes against children for 4 years.
But she wanted this one.
She wanted this one. And, but with, because of some of the psychological testing and the different views on what a woman goes through after having children and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I was
know
like,
there's a lot to it.
This case, I was convinced she would never get a needle put in her arm. And I'm convinced of that to this day. And so why go through a minimum, as Devin Bennett is still the poster child, a minimum of 25 years of appeals. 25 years, I would have been 87. You know, witnesses are gone if something gets sent back.
How do we fix this? How do we fix this process to where it's not 30, 40 years later?
Texas did it.
Yeah, how do we do
Texas did it. Texas.
Mr. Newman's sitting right there. How do we fix this?
Well, you know, it's
he's on judiciary.
Yeah, and it's something that I think your courts have to be. You know, there's different branches of government, and your courts need to be willing to do it. And we have not had a problem getting into the courtroom in our jurisdiction. It's not a problem here. You just saw the guy. We pled 10 days after his double murder over in Rankin County. Right. Why did we plead it so quick? We had evidence. He confessed, and he was not offered his deal was life without parole. Right.
Or we'll just take a death penalty.
Or we'll go death penalty.
Sure.
And he took life without parole, ×2. So we did it. We had a case earlier in the year where a illegal immigrant raped a woman at a restaurant in Madison at the end of January. We had the trial set, I think, the end of February.
Wow.
And
that's quick.
And he pled on the courthouse steps. He was like, I don't want a trial. And he got 25 years day for day. And one reason I wanted to try that case so quick, and this is not a complaint, I promise it's not. Our federal government is deporting these guys left and right, and they're doing it efficiently and they're doing it fast. This particular guy, I don't want to misspeak. I know for a fact, without going back and looking at the file, that he'd already been deported twice for committing crimes. And I think it was 3 times. I wasn't interested in him getting deported.
No, we want to keep him here.
We want to keep him here, and
he's
will
going to do 25 years.
Day for day.
Day for day.
Because deportation did not work.
Right, and then you can send him home.
That's right. So
they could deport him now to Sudan.
Well,
he may not made it back from there.
Yeah, but it was a thing where you know, and it was kind of a. And I don't mean this in any kind of bad way, but it was kind of a race. If I don't get it done,
they'll take him out of the country.
They'll deport him. They'll get rid of him.
Right.
And people will be happy with that.
And he might be right back.
It had failed at least 2 and maybe 3 times for that guy, and we weren't going to do it. So getting to the court at our local jurisdiction and trying the case is not a problem.
So where is the bottleneck?
It's the appeal process.
And how do we fix
it? And they need to just cut through, because it's the same arguments all the time. It's about the cruel and unusual punishment and the method and the jury selection. It's the same. We haven't even had our next death penalty case. We probably will pretty soon. It will be in Madison County if we have it. I can tell you what the issues of appeal are going to be, because they're going to be the same thing they were for Tony Clark in 18, and they're going to be the same things they were for Devin Bennett in 2003.
They just hadn't changed.
And when they don't change, you would think you could rule on those pretty quick.
You would think, right? But we're not.
We're not. And
so the fix is what? New judges.
I don't think
legislative.
Judges, we need to do something legislative, but you also got the Supreme Court rules that they've put in place that I think is causing some of this. And I think the Supreme Court itself needs to go back and look at some of those rules that they've done that is contributing to the problem. But I also think this legislature needs to fix some stuff. But you know, when you have lawyers in the legislature that
well, I mean, you guys create the judicial process anyway.
Right.
It happens with you. So I mean,
it also happens with the Supreme Court.
True, but I mean, you could draft the policies a certain way that would force change.
Yeah.
Well, and at the end of the day, you know, if you ever get to that crucial moment where you finally get everything done, they're going to throw a Hail Mary to the governor, who can stop the whole process.
Obviously, but I mean, how many times does that happen? I think Fordyce did it once, maybe. Somebody, I'm trying to remember. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was. I just remember, like, at the last minute. Who was that? It's been a while. It's been a while ago, but that hasn't happened in a long time.
But it's
right. Maybe it was Musgrove.
And that's you know, and that's the thing too, where if I know a guy's, or like in the Jolly case, if I know I felt like in that case I could get the death penalty. I know Catherine.
She probably could get it, but who wants to execute a woman?
At the end of the day,
there's no taste for that.
Yeah, and she had, you know, it was her baby that she killed, and you know, it was. I'm 100% convinced they never would have gone through with the death penalty, and
all you had to have had was one woman on there that either had a postpartum depression issue or some relative had it, and they would never vote for a death penalty.
That's exactly right.
And that's through all the judges too that are going to see it during that appeal process.
Exactly.
And so that was a tough call to make, and you know, any decision you make, you're going to get a little criticism, and I think that's good, and I'm up for it. But people are like, so why are we fixing to spend all this money housing this woman for the next 30 years? Guess what? You were going to do it anyway.
Do that anyway.
Because of the appeal process.
And it's a lot cheaper with them in the general population, with the rest of the prisoners, than having their own hotel suite
in court segregation.
On death row.
On death row.
Yeah.
I will say they don't have hotel suites on death row.
But they're segregated.
Right.
They're by themselves. They're by themselves. It's not nice, but you know, a lot of people in prison would love to have that arrangement because of they're protected, they feel safe, they have their privacy, they can read books, watch television, whatever.
Right.
And they have, you know, more of a one-on-one supervision rather than a one-on 20 or 30 or whatever it is. But much more expensive, I think, to house them on death row than it is in the general population.
Plus all the legal fees that go along with it.
And the legal fees of the appeal process, I can't even fathom. And that's,
so it sounds to me like we need to do some serious legislative work here to try to get this. Because in today's world, we were discussing off camera, in today's world, we need to be a little more efficient. And if you're caught dead to right, as you said, you know, and we get you done and prosecuted quick, then everything slows down.
And it can be done.
Sure, it can.
Let's just all kind of make a commitment to all watch the Charlie Kirk thing. Let's see how that plays out.
See how fast that rolls.
The Oklahoma City bombing.
That went very fast.
Yeah.
That was federal law.
Texas, on a routine basis, 5 years,
So that's what we need to do. We need to get to Texas. We need to figure out what they're doing and go copy that.
Yeah. So people say, well, it doesn't come up that often. Well, it comes up fairly often. It's just rarely do you see us look at it that hard. And I'll tell you, the case I'm looking at real hard right now is the one where the lady was kidnapped from Nissan and shot, thrown out of the vehicle up in Carroll County. He's not happy. He thought another county might have jurisdiction, but he started in the wrong one.
Yeah, yours.
Yeah, and I'm pretty set on that. Now, if he comes in real quick and says, "Hey, I'll do life without parole," then there may be some things I need to look at, and we're going to look at all those other things that I haven't gotten yet. But early in the process, that's kind of where we're looking.
So how many ADAs do you have in each county?
Well, so in Rankin County right now, I've got 11, and in Madison County, I've got 6. That's case proportionate. Rankin County has more cases, and I will even say that it's population proportionate. I think Madison County right now is up around 106, 110,000 people, and Rankin County's in 160s, 170s, something along there. So it kind of goes along with that. We typically indict about 150 people a month in Rankin, and it's about 100 people in Madison.
That's a lot.
It is,
But
it's.
think people would figure it out real quick.
Yeah,
This is the wrong county to do
But we've
this.
got very active law enforcement.
We do.
And we've got, and Gene's very familiar with this, and has helped me with this over the last 7 years. It's the state provides me 7 of those attorneys.
Okay.
And most of your other jurisdictions, whatever the state gives them is what they've got. And we couldn't function with that.
With 7, now
If
that's
I had-
7. That's 7 for both counties.
That's right.
Total.
That's right. And it's 2.
And you've got 17.
That's right. And 7 for both counties, which is what the state gives me right now. Think about it. I've got 2 counties, but we don't rotate from one county to the next.
Right. There's 6 are in Madison.
I got
11 in
2
Rankin.
counties,
Right.
2 full court terms
Right.
on the same schedule.
Sure.
We started trials in both counties today, and we will be in trial for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
And one of those is going to have 2 judges going. And we have 2 prosecutors sitting on every case. And these are your big cases. These are your big ones. They're felonies. They take a little time to prepare and get ready for court.
Right.
I think the one starting in Madison County today has 20 witnesses.
Wow.
Well, you would have, if I just had the 7 that I've got, I would probably have 3 in each county, and maybe rotate one.
A floater.
A floater.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, but
How could you possibly get the caseload?
you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
There would be
And
no, physically there'd be.
that's right. So where we're blessed is a couple things have happened. One, Madison provides me at their expense, and it's not their obligation, but they're providing me 3 full-time attorneys.
Okay.
That gets it up to 10. Rankin is providing me 4 full-time attorneys. That gets it up to 14. And then 2 years ago, the legislature passed a statute for the first time that allows me to hire former retired assistant district attorneys to come back to the state and work 20 hours a week
Right.
for half the pay that they retired at. So you're getting really good prosecutors.
Yeah, you're getting seasoned veterans
Seasoned veterans.
that know what they're doing.
Sometimes former DAs.
Sure.
That just want to come back to work.
Yeah.
And they can do it, and they're great. They're great in the courtroom, and they're great mentors. They're great for people in my position to bounce stuff off of.
Right, because they've been there so
That's
long.
right.
Right.
And so they enabled me to do that a couple of years ago, and I've got 3 of them.
Okay.
And so that gives me my 17. Gene, I know Gene authored a bill last year with Kevin Horan, asking for 6 more. Not to get me to 23, but for the state to start paying their bill, so that Rankin County wasn't paying it, and so that Madison County wasn't paying it. And the DA also kicking in money also. And so a bill was introduced for us to get 6 additional ones, which would have got me to 13. And I'll tell you where the 13 comes from. And looking at all the statistics and whatnot, and the numbers are much lower than this on a national basis, but if I could get to 1 prosecutor for every 20,000 in population, that works.
That's the sweet spot.
It works.
Right.
And I was at 1 in 36,000.
Okay.
I am at 1 in 36,000.
So you're close,
Yeah.
and adding those
And
3 would do that.
Adding 6
Or 6.
would do that.
Okay.
And the House passed it. We got our 6. The Senate said no, and it went to conference. And as happens a lot of times, they agreed on 3. So I'm thankful for that. There's no complaints. And there's no but or and or if or whatever at the end of that sentence.
Sure.
We're going to work on it again.
I'm coming back this year.
We're going to try again for 3 more.
One thing we heard last year, and look, there's a special place in heaven for these guys. I couldn't do it.
Right. Right.
I hate the first 3 or 4 months of every year.
I know,
I
right?
can't stand it.
I get to talk to these
And,
guys in person
yeah.
every week.
But one thing I heard last year was, well, this is Rankin and Madison County asking us to do this. We're not hearing anything from the Prosecutors Association. So I don't think we're going to do this. Well, the year before, the MPA asked for us to get 6. It's almost like we were neglected because we could be neglected.
The problem is you got some legislatures that think Rankin County, Madison County's got all that money. They don't let them take care of their stuff.
I know that's.
And that can only go on for so long.
Sure.
And then when I come and ask for 6, they're like, "Have you lost your mind?" I'm like, "That's how long it's been neglected." And so we got the 3. Thankful for it. Period. But MPA asked for it, didn't get it. Representative Newman, the counties got together, the attorneys got together, the lobbyists got together. We got 3, and we're coming back this year.
Now you
we're
need
asking
6
for
more.
3 more.
Right.
And
By the time you
6
get those
more.
3, you're going to need more after that.
Yeah.
Because
and-
Rankin County just growing and exploding.
Yeah, but if we can get to that point, it would be great. And we've been blessed, but I can tell you this from a historical perspective, and I'm getting old because I've been there and seen this. But the first time I was with the DA's office in 2000, we were bringing in about $1.5 million a year through our bad check unit. We don't even have a bad check unit anymore.
I think say, does that even
Nobody writes
exist?
checks.
I
No.
think say, does that exist
No,
anymore?
doesn't exist
So that
anymore.
revenue's gone.
That revenue's gone. And then you had the forfeitures and seizures that were taking place on the interstate. And for a while, there was big money there. And you know, there's people have different opinions on that, but I'm sorry. I don't. When a guy's carrying $1.4 million in $10 bills wrapped in cellophane.
Right. We know where that came from.
We just put the burden on them to explain it.
Yeah, right.
They don't even try to. They're like, I know nothing about that money. You can
I don't
have
speak
it.
English.
and we
Not mine.
but it was a resource that we had that's basically not there anymore. They've gone to Bitcoin and cash apps and things like that, and
Venmo and PayPal and all that. Right.
And I don't know if that's the end of it, or they're just maybe a step ahead of us right now, and we've got to learn that system or what. But
Well, Trump likes to torpedo their boats out in the water.
yeah,
I don't think they're going to be making much money anymore.
and as an apology, he did it again.
I know, right?
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, so I see with that administration, that revenue is definitely drying up.
Yeah, it is. And so what happened for years is the counties would kick in a little bit, and then they would handle those things, and then we would reimburse the county each month. And we got to where we just couldn't do that. And now we're at a stage where, you know, you either do it for us or you don't. And if you don't, it's not good. And, you know, one argument is that the DA's office is not bringing in money that we can put our hands on. It's not a money maker for us. I'm telling you, you look at Rankin County and you look at Madison County, you look at DeSoto County, that they're bringing in money because that's where people are going. And you know why they're coming here? It's because they're safe.
Safe.
Yeah, they're safe.
They're safe.
Right.
Their kids are safe at school. They're safe at work. You've got good churches. You've got, I mean, people.
Community.
That's right, community. People are coming, and there's so much to be said for community. A little off the subject, but you said the word community. I got a son that's head football coach at Ocean Springs, and they played this past Friday night, and I was watching on the news an interview with one of the football players, and he said, you know, I love representing our community, Ocean Springs. I grew up the son of a football coach, and when I grew up in Brandon, Mississippi, my goal in life was to represent the city of Brandon on a high school football field. That was my goal in life.
Sure.
And with today's portals and it's drifting its way down to high school and people moving.
Oh, it is.
I was like, wow, that took me back 40 years. When's the last time I heard somebody saying, I played for my community? And that's something I don't think we've ever gotten away from.
Not here.
In Rankin County.
Not here. Right.
Kids growing up wanting to be a Pearl Pirate or Brandon Bulldog
Right,
or Pisgah Dragon or
Right.
Puckett Wolf or Florence
Florence
Eagle. I mean,
Eagle.
it goes
Right,
on
right,
and on
right.
and on. We still have that, and it's a precious thing, and it's because
Law enforcement.
it is.
It is.
We're safe.
From the street beat cop
Yeah,
all the way through the DA's office
yeah,
To the judges.
to the judges.
yeah,
Yeah, it's law enforcement.
it is.
The criminal justice system only works if it's swift and sure. And I know that's the problem you see across that river.
Yes.
It's not swift and sure. It's painful. Over here, the criminal justice system works.
It does.
It's fair. It's equitable. You know, we're not mistreating anybody, but you come over here and do a crime, you're gonna be treated the way you don't want to be treated.
You're gonna suffer the consequences.
You're gonna suffer.
And then after you've suffered the consequences, then you can go on about your life.
That's right.
Yeah, and we see it every week in court because of where we are and what we're located next to. And I'm not throwing stones or anything.
No.
But these defendants will come in court here, and when they get sentenced to prison, and it's their 5th, 7th, 10th, 15th time in court, but it's their first time in our jurisdiction, they're shocked. that they're going to prison. That's amazing to me.
Yeah, don't come to Rankin County and do crime. Don't come here.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't go to Madison and do crime. Don't come to Rankin County and
Yeah.
do crime. You're going to go to jail.
You're going to, and we're going to send. Right now it's not getting as much publicity right now because it's, again, that desensitized thing. It's kind of been happening for a while. Fentanyl's, it's not getting any better. It's a huge problem, and it's showing up more and more in different drugs. Now we're starting to see carfentanil, which is 1,000 times deadlier.
Right. That's just a whole new thing.
Yeah, just a whole new thing. When we were first seeing the fentanyl, kids were buying pills off the street that maybe they thought were ecstasy or thought it was methamphetamine or something, but it was laced with fentanyl. Now they're seeking it out. It's I don't understand the psyche there, but there's a market for it, and anytime you've got a consumer base for it, people are going to sell it.
Right.
And here, you're going to prison. You're going to prison. Fleeing from cops. How many people have we seen get killed during those races?
Yes. And we had a very, very public one, not a handful of years ago with that postal worker.
Yeah.
That ended
In
up
Jackson.
and losing his life because of that. And you want to blame the cop? No. It
That's
was
right.
every bit the individual who fled's responsibility.
That's right.
That's on him.
And people say, well, he was young and he got scared and he didn't
Not an
know.
excuse.
People die. And so if you come over here and you're going to run from the cops and you're going to try to get back to a sanctuary.
Well, Rankin County will be happy to total a brand new police vehicle to stop you from killing somebody.
Yeah. And
we will do it every time.
Yeah, and if the message gets out there that you're going to prison, maybe it'll curb it a little bit, or
you notice how that slows down.
Yeah.
We just had one the other night, this past weekend, but and we wrecked a car.
Yeah.
But so what? It ended right there.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt anybody else.
Yeah.
And so it's going to cost the city almost $20,000 to replace that vehicle or fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, but the chase ended right there.
Yeah.
And you're not going to hurt anybody else. You can hurt yourself, but
Yeah.
don't come to Rankin County and do that.
Yeah. We convicted a man this past year that killed an innocent driver over in Flowood. And
Was that the motorcycle?
passion? No.
No, that wasn't the
This
motorcycle.
was a different one, but
Right,
it's the same kind of thing.
That was the same thing.
But that particular one that I'm talking about, he had successfully evaded police in Pearl just a couple weeks earlier. Don't always catch them, and sometimes you do have to shut down the chase for safety reasons.
Sometimes.
And he got away with it, and then he ended up, and as those things go, everybody involved in the crash died but him. So just a sad deal, but
Totally.
People are like, why are you picking out those particular? It's because of what we see out there, and the two biggest problems that we're seeing right now is the fentanyl and the violent crimes with a younger and younger age group.
I know, isn't that sad? And I know, like Representative Newman and I, we've talked about, we've got a mental health crisis in this country.
Yeah.
It needs to be addressed. We need to be doing more. And some of this is mental health. Some of this is COVID related, where these kids didn't go to school. Some of this is parents not being parents, and there's so many issues that are driving this factor, I think, for these younger kids. That we've got to address this somehow and figure out a way to curb it. Just always put them in prison is not the answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is the
dealing with
answer,
people
but it's
that are
not
mean.
always the answer.
Yeah, that mental health intervention at an early age, having a father in the home.
Yes, absolutely.
There's all kind of things that can make a huge difference. And what bothers me is, like Gene says, some of them there's not one place for them by the time that happens.
Unfortunately.
And when I was coming up in the '90s and doing youth court, it was a very public thing. It was very open. It was very transparent. The reason we had youth court was for rehab. It was to try to see problems, identify them, diagnose them, and deal with them at an early age before they got to be an adult, before it reached a criminal stage.
Sure.
But it was youth court was for rehab, adult court was for punishment. And then somewhere along the line, adult courts became rehab.
Right.
Which sounds good, but somebody's got to do it. You know, and if it wasn't happening, and but I've seen that dangerous age group go from 25 to 15.
Right, to 15.
And a 15-year-old mind is, here's what's scary about those criminals that we see that are doing carjackings and murders, is they don't process the consequences. They don't think about the consequences.
No, it's a
have
video
no regard
game
for
to
human
them.
life.
And there's
Right.
no regard for human life. And most of them don't expect to reach their 18th birthday, so they don't even feel like they're rolling the dice.
Tragic, isn't it?
And it's tragic. Great word. Yeah,
Tragic.
It's tragic.
It really is tragic. I'm an extremist on some of this. I have some views that are probably not mainstream, but I'm of the opinion you want to stop some of this juvenile crime, that's good. I'll tell you how to do it. We can fix it tomorrow, which is real quick. We can legislate that if your child, if my son under the age of 18 commits a crime, great. You're going to go to juvenile court in that process, but the parent's going to go do the time.
Well, the biggest problem with it, most of these kids over here that you're dealing with, the parents aren't there.
Well, guess what? Then you're still going to do the time.
Yeah.
Frank's opinion would be if you fathered that child or mothered that child, then guess what? You're responsible for them. And if they do something wrong in society, great. You're doing the time for it. And if it's a 25-year crime, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what would happen to the child? Well, guess what? They were out doing crime anyway. So I've got to deal with that too, but I'm going to deal with you for fathering that child and not being a parent.
Yeah.
I know that sounds extreme, but it would fix the problem. I have a whole laundry list of stuff that would fix some of this real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous what we go through. Now, I'm hopeful, and we talk about young people, and it's unfortunate with the Charlie Kirk assassination. But look at the outpouring of these Gen Z population and younger, the kids that are in high school right now today, that you see so many of them now coming to this realization that, hey, there's a bigger purpose in life. There's a God.
Yeah.
You know, they're realizing, and it's unfortunate that he had to lose his life, but if you look at the flip side of what's going on, maybe there's hope, Bubba.
There he is.
Maybe.
There he is. If there wasn't, I wouldn't be doing what I do.
Sure.
I can promise you, there's
hope.
There's a lot easier things to do.
Yeah. There are.
But there is hope, and it's worth. It's like we were talking about needing the additional ADAs and stuff from every. It's worth the investment.
Sure.
And that's what Charlie was. I was a big fan of his. I'm not a jump on the bandwagon here.
No, I was too.
I was a huge fan, and he was taking it to the college campuses, and he was targeting the
young
younger
minds.
generation.
That's right.
And he was also showing them a way to deal with differing opinions and different thoughts on things by engaging in a debate. Let's talk about it, which is not on the criminal spectrum. I'm talking about dealing with these 16, 17 years. They're not talking things out. They're not. We don't even see fist fights anymore.
Right.
When we were growing up,
That's how you handled it.
That's how you handled it.
And then you
were fine the
and then
next
you went
day.
and you hung out later.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's how that worked out. That's,
But that's not the real world anymore. And I get what you're saying too with parental responsibility, and there's a lot to be said for that. And again, that youth court experience in the 90s, I could see a lot of times, I could see almost all the time, where a kid's problems may or may not come from with how his parents handled it. If the parents were in there saying, don't prosecute little Johnny, and why are you doing this, and he's the victim, we got a problem. And they were few and far between. But those kids that would get locked up in the juvenile facility, which Rankin County has had since '93,
for a
other
long
counties
time.
don't have it.
I call that since Hatchet was a hammer.
That's right. We've always had one.
Right.
And when those kids get locked up in that facility, and they say, we need your phone number, we need to call mom and dad, and the kid says, that's okay, you don't really need to call them, or they don't give you the phone number, you know right then you've probably got a set of parents that you can work with.
Right. I know. Absolutely.
And parents can do so much more.
They
at that
can.
age
They
than
need
we
to step
can.
up.
That's right.
They need to step up. Now, we're talking about all the ones that actually go to jail. You're also a man of mercy.
Yes.
And I know there's plenty that come through the DA's office that could face harsh sentences.
Yes.
Or do you keep up with numbers like that? How many of those walk in the door that you say, look, we're going to give you another chance?
Bubba and the sheriff work together all the time on folks that they put in programs that
it's not
that
always
allows
about
them
going to jail.
Go out and work and clean this stuff up.
Right.
To have a second chance at life, and they do it all the time. But it's this, the person's got to want it. They got to be willing to help themselves.
Tell me a little bit about that side of it.
Those are the numbers that you don't see.
That's the ones you don't see.
First of all, you talked about surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah.
That's the key to being successful in my office. We think a lot alike. We have the same Christian principles, the same moral principles, and we have a desire to do the right thing. So when a case is brought to us, first of all, law enforcement brings it to us, and we have a screening process, and that screening process starts when that officer brings it to our office. He's going to take it to the prosecutor. That is, I assign cases not by alphabet or anything, but by the type of case. I figure if you're prosecuting the same kind of case over, it's just like playing ball. Repetition makes you better at what you do.
Okay, Coach Bramlett.
That's right. And that's
true.
And that's the way I look at I've got a team of prosecutors. You meet with that prosecutor, and as a law enforcement officer, you've got to convince him that you've got a good case. And if you don't, y'all deal with it. Either get a checklist of the things you need to do and go do them, or whatever. And here's the reason it's like that. Because then that prosecutor's got to come before all the rest of the prosecutors. We call it round table.
Okay.
That prosecutor's now in the position that cop was in. And he's got to sell it to the rest of the prosecutors and go through that process.
Okay.
And if they get through that, that's the second screening process, is the round table. If it survives the round table, then it goes to a grand jury, which is another screening process.
Right.
So by the time somebody gets indicted, they've been through a minimum of 3 screening processes. And we haven't pulled the case out for a diversion like pretrial that we do in-house, where we make sure you're employed, and if you're not, we try to help you get a job, or that you've got a GED, or if you don't have one, we help you get it, and you come meet with us every month, and we drug test you every month. And if you do all the things you're supposed to do, we dismiss the case. And now, something we started doing, we dismiss it and expunge it. So it's like it never happened.
Even happened.
That's right.
Right.
So,
and I'm sure there are people that take advantage of that.
They do. And you see where we're top 3 in the state every year in convictions and the number of people in prison and cases handled and all that. We're also number 1 in the state in pretrial diversions. Drug court. We max out our drug court. We run as many people through our drug court system as we can. And now, if you get through that drug court for a drug issue, a drug crime, we don't prosecute you for that crime, and we expunge it. So
here's your another chance.
Yeah, you got a clean slate when you come through the drug court program. The trustee program. The trustee program has been wildly successful, and it's gotten some press lately because of what happened with the Goon Squad and all that kind of stuff. But there's people who are great parents now, and mothers and daddies that
Productive
are
citizens.
good, productive citizens in the church, in the community and stuff, that have been through that trustee program. And it's there's different facets of that, like anger management, and finance management, and anger management, and it goes on and on. But we put more through our what we call alternative programs than, and that goes back to that screening process where I want my people to look at every case on a case-by-case basis. And it's, you know, if you were going to do this much time for this crime, you wouldn't need us. You wouldn't need judges. You could just plug that stuff into a computer and do it. Some people deserve a second chance. Some deserve a third. You may get a felony DUI and realize that their prior two convictions happened a week apart at a time when that particular person, their whole family got killed in a car wreck. And they chose alcohol to deal with that and got a DUI and then got another one. And that was years ago, and now here they are. We get DUI fourths now, which is DUI fourth is within a lifetime. I think that's a great crime. I think it's great. I'm so glad we have it. We haven't always had that resource. But you've got to use prosecutor discretion. If that guy's 3 priors were in 79, 80, and 81.
Right, we're talking about.
And now you get one in 2025. Something happened, but he went 45 years without getting a DUI. He was doing something right.
Yeah.
Let's get him back to there.
Yeah.
But if
something in his life changed.
That's right.
Something happened.
That's right. But if he's getting them in 2018 and going to jail and getting out and getting another one in 19 and going to jail and getting out.
Rehab's not helping you.
Yeah. Then
there's something else wrong.
We'll deal with you.
Yeah, right.
But we are all about second chances. And look, I had a gap there where I was a criminal defense lawyer and was very successful with it, loved it. And what I liked about it, I guess because of my name and experience, I didn't have to advertise or anything. And I actually did keep up with it. I actually accepted, on average, 1 out of every 27 cases that came to my office.
Wow.
And it was people who wanted to do the right thing, who wanted help. And that's kind of the way we went about it. And it was very fulfilling. And now, as a DA, in a way, I feel like I can do that for all 27 of those people.
You can do it. You can, right.
If they want it.
If they want it.
If they want it.
If they want it.
Just come knock on your door.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And so.
Especially your first timers.
Yeah.
You know, somebody does something they shouldn't have done, and they get caught doing it because, you know, I've heard that little adage: everybody commits 5 felonies a year. That may be true. I don't know. You just hear that on average, everybody, and don't even realize they do. Yeah. You know, you just may be that you're unlucky that day and you got caught.
Well, our felony DUIs. By the time we get them, I'm convinced that if you've been caught that many times, there's no you're dangerous.
You're dangerous, and there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a big advocate of God always puts you where He wants you.
I am too.
And apparently He wants you right where you are. You were appointed the position.
Yeah.
and then elected that position unopposed.
Yeah.
And then this previous time, you ran again,
Yeah.
unopposed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you like what you do.
I love what I do,
And you're good at it.
And my wife was like, she was the one that came to me and said that, look, I've been praying, and she's deeply religious and faithful, as are her parents. And she was getting a lot of calls, and I was like, you know, Celeste, I'm telling you, I know what this is going to involve, and I don't know that you do. She said, it doesn't matter. God's prepared you to do this, and you're still trying to figure out how you're going to be a football coach at 55 years old. And that's not what he's prepared you for.
That's not your journey, is it?
That's right. And it's been affirmed almost daily. So it's been a good ride.
Well, that's great.
We got a great DA.
We're
proud of him.
We do.
Well,
and we are happy to have you.
Well, I'm glad, and it's my life's love. I love doing it. I like trying to make a difference, and it's not just me. It's they say it takes a village, and it does. And the legislature and getting in, because it would trickle to nothing if we didn't do it. And thankfully, I've got a on the county level and with my local jurisdictions, there's a priority on public safety.
There is.
And that's what we're there for.
And that's why we're doing so well in our counties.
Yeah, and it does pay off.
It does.
It does pay off. You just got to look how it's paying off. And it pays off in these communities. And they continue to prosper and grow.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for bringing him in.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming.
Will
Yes,
you
sir.
come back?
I will, anytime.
Yeah, it's been I think it's been an eye-opening experience for a lot of people that, you know, they know who you are. People know who you are.
Right.
Obviously, they know who you are, but they don't really know who you are. And I think this is an opportunity that you just gave our citizens a chance to really get to know who their DA is.
Yeah.
And how that works. So thank you.
Thank
you
you
very much.
Thank you.
And thanks again
Yes,
for
sir.
bringing him in. All right,
Thank you for having us.
absolutely. We're going to step aside just a quick second, but when we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on this week in Pearl. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Hi, folks. Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I'm your host, Frank Hutton, and that was a fantastic conversation. Learned so much about our DA. Great for him coming in today. I appreciate Representative Newman bringing him in. It was really fascinating to learn about the inner workings of the DA's office and what they do and how they go through their processes. It's great. I hope you all found that as informative as I am, and I really do appreciate our DA coming in and spending some time with us this morning. Fantastic. So let's talk about what's going on this week in Pearl. All right, so Pearl won Friday night, this past Friday night. They now are traveling to Clinton this week. They'll head up to Clinton, to take on the Arrows this Friday night. So if you want to come out to the game, it'd be great. Gates open at 5:30, kickoff's at 7. If you can't be at the game, be sure you can tune in to PMB Sports right here on our cityofpearl.com, Roku, Amazon, YouTube, Facebook. We're all over the place. You can find us and watch the game there live from Clinton this week. Also, come out and join us for the Coaches Show at Mugshots. Coaches Show brings in a couple of kids as well as an assistant coach and our head coach, Pat Schooler. You can come in and hear them talk about the previous game, learn a little bit about them, talk to them if you would like, but learn a little bit about what's going on inside the program. That's the Coaches Show. We film it every Monday night at 6 p.m. at our Mugshots on Riverwind in Pearl. So come out and check that out. It's a great time to do that. Also, C League football has already started. Those games started back on the 13th, just a couple of days ago. That schedule's out, so if you need to know when your team or when your child's playing, reach out to Pearl Parks and Recreation, and they can show you, or you can reach out to pearlparksandrecreation.com for their website and see that schedule. Also coming up, Pearl Parks and Recreation is offering its annual fishing rodeo. That's September 27th. It's in Bright Park. It's great. This is for ages kids 5 to 15. They must be accompanied by an adult and a parent. They have to be, but registration will start at 8 a.m. and then the fishing fun begins at 9 and goes all the way up until noon. So be sure and put this on your calendar. It's a great event. Lots of kids turn out for this. So be sure and register early and then get there to do it. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't ever done it before, you will not be disappointed. I promise, neither will your child. It is a lot of fun. Hey, look, I've enjoyed bringing this week to you. Hope you all have a fantastic time. And until next time, I'm your host, Frank Hutton. I'll see you later.